Jess. He is going to be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes with persuasive speaking. The title of his speech is Senior Decaf Coffee with 2 creams, 6 creamers on the side, Asperger's, and other irritating stuff. Please introduce, or please give a round of applause for Jess Reimnitz.
I don't need that. A few weeks ago, I told you how I have this love and hate relationship with McDonald's. How they go about multitasking all the time and messing up my coffee order. Well, as so happens, my evaluator told me, stop blaming your problems on other people, on multitasking. So today, I'm not going to blame my problem on multitasking. I'm going to redo my speech for you. 2 days ago, I was in front of that speaker. What would you like? I said, senior decaf coffee, 2 creamers inside with 6 creamers in a packet. And he responded, 2 Egg McMuffins? I said, no. And I repeated my order. Senior, and you've got it by now. And he responded, 2 Egg McMuffins? I said, no, I'll see you in court. No, I said, I'll see you at the window. I drove up to the window, and you would think after 2 no's, you might get a different question. But he pulled open the window, and he said, 2 Egg McMuffins. I said, really? Senior decaf coffee with 2 creamers inside and 6 creamers in a packet on the outside. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm wearing this headset, and everyone's talking to me at the same time. And I'm so confused. I just didn't even hear your order. I said, that's because my evaluator said it wasn't because you're multitasking. It's something to do with my unhappiness. What? Anyway, I gave him the money, and drove to the next window. Whoa! It's the same guy. He's there serving me my coffee. Wow, that's amazing. He hands me my creamers. He comes up with the coffee. He opens it. Black, right? Black? I said, no, 2 creamers, please. He puts 2 creamers in there. I drive off. After 10 years of doing this, 15, maybe 20, I want to tell you, I've learned from McDonald's how to be patient. When this first started happening, I would lose my patience and be vocal. But after the years and many years, I realized, Jess, you need to be patient with people. Give them some space. And by the way, I get a coffee at the end of this exercise. The other thing I've learned is I've learned an appreciation for people who work at McDonald's. Because McDonald's is a food machine. It's an assembly line. Those workers are there just to fill in, to move things between one machine and another. The fact that he took my order and then appeared at the second window was just surprising. But if you get to the second window and no one's there, there's this like ghost filling the Coke machine. Filling the Coke machine. And then all of a sudden, someone will run up with some bags and go, here! And here's your coffee. I said, thank you. They're just tasked with working behind in that operation. I don't know, maybe he was the only one doing everything. It's pretty amazing. So I learned to appreciate the people working there. And the last thing is I feel like I'm rewarded when I go to McDonald's. How so? Well, when I do place my order, it's decaf. They never have decaf ready for me. So when I get to that second window, they say, we're still brewing it. I said, that's okay. And then they say, go around the corner and park in number 1. Well, if I park in number 1, that means they'll forget about me. And they always do. So I just sit there. And I think about people that I'm irritated about, people with Asperger's. I spend time there. But the reward is, after many, many minutes, they remember that they took an order and sent this guy around the corner. And they come to me, I roll down the window, and the reward is, sir, we're so sorry, we forgot about you. Yeah, you always forget about me. We didn't give you a small cup of decaf coffee. We gave you a large one. Thank you. And by the way, we got you one of those apple crisp things too, because we know you've been waiting. I said, well, thank you. And those creamers are for my wife when I get home. And so I get a pretty good deal. I get a large decaf coffee. I get a little apple crisp. I get creamers for my wife at home. And it's 87 cents. That is a deal. If you need to learn how to be patient, if you need to learn how to appreciate people, and you want to be rewarded for doing so, get up early, drive to the drive-thru at McDonald's, and order a senior decaf coffee with 2 creamers and 6 creamers on the side. Thank you.